Hi and welcome to the Wilson Shala's YouTube channel. We are dedicated to preserving and sharing Zambia's rich history through topics like culture, politics, finance, and education.
Electoral process
from traditional ceremonies to trending stories, parliament proceedings, and everyday voices, we bridge Zambia's past to its future. Join us in building a timeless digital archive. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and now let us explore the stories of what
ourselves to gather, to mobilize, so both our political and civic rights have been hindered.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your trusted source for balanced commentary, analysis, documentaries and latest development from Zambia and beyond. In today's video, we will carefully examine today's topic by separating the facts from opinions, providing context and helping you understand why this story matters. I encourage you to watch until the end because the last section always contains the most important concept that you need to watch. Now let's start the video.
Especially as perpetrated by the UPND. In Chawama, when Brian Mundubile and Makebi were leaving a memorial service for the late President Edgar Lungu, they were attacked by UPND thugs. The UPND thugs proceeded to ransack the campaign center for Brian Mundubile, one of the alliance candidates in Chawama. ECZ did nothing. The police came to arrest the security detail of Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. Instead of going to the perpetrators that occasioned the damage to public property and the injuring of the people that were found at Bright Nungui's campaign center, and also those stones and just that mobilized crowd. Look at what happened in Mazabuka against Gary Nkombo. Instead of arresting and prosecuting the perpetrators, they proceeded to arrest Gary Nkombo. It is those issues by the police, and there are many of them, the violence against independent candidates in Monze, in Choma, in Zambezi, in Solwezi, are of serious concern. And just what, as Hichilema calls them, the boys have suffered. They've suffered dislocation on their political rallies. They keep on shifting them. Sometimes the police are not cooperating. Sometimes the local authorities are stopping their opportunity. We're supposed to have one of the largest rallies that have been held, which was supposed to be held either at the Hero Stadium or outside Hero Stadium, and no authority had been granted. You had to see there to do an ad hoc rally, although it was massively, there was a massive turnout in Zingalume, Matero area, under Matero. You can see the frustrations. Then, of course, the issuing of live bullets. I think that is why there's deep concerns. How do you discharge live bullets at a peaceful crowd who is following a calendar? Because Brian Mundubile and Makebi had the calendar to be in Lusaka during this period. They decided to hold a road show, nothing illegal, within the premises of campaigns. One of the campaign methods is just not campaign rallies. And I was surprised when PS Information, Thabo Kawana, kept on insisting that he had put up a notice for a rally at Independence Stadium, and yet they decided for a roadshow. A roadshow is part of the campaign, and the team had authorization to be in Lusaka and campaign peacefully. The opportunity for Zambia to have a democratic, transparent, credible, free and fair elections has been marred by the deaths, 5 deaths that have been recorded so far in light of political violence. Look at the slaying of Stanley Sakala from Mazabuka, who was Magoye East candidate. Mwene's driver, Stanley Sakala, was slain in his sleep. Humphrey Luisha in Kaputa. You have the latest demise of Nelson Chikumbi in John Lane, whose duty was just to repair a radio station, a radio instrument, and when he repaired it, he wanted to understand if he had repaired it, and he played the Mundubile Makebi Bengile song, and he was lynched to death. So the opportunity to have free and fair elections have been marred by these numerous events. The attack on Garin Kombo, the attack yesterday on Dani.
Hi guys, sorry, we just have to pause this video. According to the new YouTube policy, we just have to leave this significant commentary in the video.
With fabricated charges, you can see
enjoy this
all those
video,
charges are fabricated. Even when he's entitled, these cases are all bailable. He has not been given that discretion and right to bail. He had earlier bail that was granted, but he was never released.
Always when I post
and
yeah, don't forget to watch this video.
And you saw the DPP come in
for you.
The DPP come in forcefully and said Xavier Chungu was a flight risk. How was he a flight
Leave
risk?
a positive comment in the comment sections.
Where was he? How can a presidential candidate
our channel
be a flight risk?
Rather than
so you can see that the conduct of ECZ, the conduct
this
of
video will continue very shortly.
To our free and fair
Stay
elections.
with me.
For ECZ, they punish us in Kaputa. They do not allow us to campaign in Kaputa. But they have not punished the UPND on all these incidences I've highlighted, including where deaths have occurred. They've not been punished. So the two state institutions threatening the opportunity for Zambia to hold elections is the ECZ and Zambia Police, and then free reign given to the UPND and his presidential
there are indications that you were supposed, the opposition was supposed to hold a rally in Hero Stadium. How does it then become a roadshow? The police are mandated to uphold order in any case. Don't you think that there should be orderly campaigns as to what has been prescribed for under the Electoral Commission of Zambia's provisions and what has been planned for as a political party?
We notified the various authorities of what particular program was ours. ECZ had given us a mandate, so our secretariat began mobilizing from a rally from Luangwa, to Chongwe, to Kafiwe, to Chilanga, and to ensure that we had a road show on Thursday and then a mass rally at Independence on Friday. That was the plan, and it was announced. So for institutions and the police to express surprise of one particular item of the campaign period in Lusaka is just mere suppression and mere harassment of the opposition leaders. Today you saw that Makebi Zulu removed a bulletproof vest and said, I would rather die for my country than wear the vest, as our country become so unsafe. Now, the decision for our candidates even to be protected wearing bulletproof vest is not arising from without. There are very serious reports that we understand that the entities involved in illegalities, including mobilizing assassins to attempt to take away the lives of the leading candidate in Brian Mundubile. So it's very imperative that Zambia has a distinguished record. I think this is the first time I'm seeing presidential candidates wearing a bulletproof vest.
Well, Ambassador, you say this is the first time that the electoral environment is appearing unsafe. I mean, you have criticized the current administration over governance and security, but however, it is during your time that a lot of lives were lost at the hands of the police. I can count the people that have died at the hands of the police during the PF administration. How do you respond to this argument that your administration, in fact, has had the worst record in terms of upholding human rights? In Sama, shot by live bullets. You're talking Vespas Shimuzila, who died out of tear gas, and Joseph Kaunda, you're talking Lawrence, Mapenzi. There's a lot of people that have died in the hands of the PF. How do you present this argument to the Zambians? How do Zambians begin to trust you when these lives and people, families, are still hurting at the loss of these lives, Ambassador?
And I blame the media. And secondly, I blame the Patriotic Front for not having spoken as vociferously as UPND did at the eve of the elections.
You blame the media? In what circumstances do you blame the media, Ambassador?
So I blame the PF and the media for telling a one-sided story. We lost Jackson Kungo, a very senior member, mobbed and killed by UPND on the election day. We lost, a week before, we lost two PF members, Dan Kasongo and Davison Kavunda, who were attacked in Kanyama. They were ambushed by UPND. They came to the center in Kanyama and killed those two kids. You remember the funeral, I think Davis Mwilan, senior cabinet minister, going to that funeral where Dan Kasongo and Davison Kavunda were killed. And the list is long.
Yeah, but Ambassador, I mean, you can't blame the media.
From 2011,
you can't blame the media for. I don't know when you say you blame the media. I would like to understand, because I mean, this is not a competition of a loss of lives, for lack of a better term. I'm giving you scenarios of how many people have been lost equally under the PF administration. I mean, you gave me an account of how many people have been lost during this time. But the argument is that during your time, you equally had a poor record of upholding human rights. And what are you offering different? What are you offering different? What are you offering different, Ambassador, when you come into government?
First, no life should be lost in any politics. Politics should be a competition of ideas.
Of course. A life lost is a life too many. No life should be lost, indeed. Exactly. I agree with you.
No life should be lost. I said I blame the PF and I blame the media for telling a one-sided story, because President Hakainde Hichilema was skilled to repeat and repeat the victims of violence from the UPND. You and the PF, I wish that someone in PF who were in charge of campaigns should have been telling the number of lives that were lost. Then you realize that what you need, first of all, is that no lives should be lost in any election, and that there should be fundamental reforms to take away the impunity of the police, to take away the impunity of party cadres. Another matter, a wrong remains a wrong. So if there was political violence under PF, so political violence under the UPND is justified. A wrong.
What is Tonse Pomozi doing different, Ambassador, coming into this election? Lives have been lost, like you say. Lives have been lost during the UPND administration. Lives have been lost during the PF administration. What are you bringing different onto the table? Because the president speaks about, and allow me to finish, Ambassador. The president speaks about, he has condemned police brutality. He has condemned police. He says, in fact, you don't see any tear gas like you used to see before. You don't see any gunshots. You don't hear any gunshots like you used to hear before during the PF. That's what he's bringing as an alternative. How do you change the narrative when you come into office? Because you
let's not go there. I saw the statement by my dear brother, Clayson Amasaka, and that statement is completely hollow. It's like they are devoid, they don't live in our environment. There was shootings yesterday, live ammunition and tear gas, and a young girl was injured. You've seen the graphic image. We are just coming from 5 deaths that have occurred in the last 1 month. There's a pastoral.
But it's not a bullet. It's a tear gas, a canister. It's a pellet, as indicated here in the police report. There were no lives lost because that's what the opposition is riding with.
Yes, well, allow me to speak. If the police are telling you that you saw the graphic image of the young girl, the bleeding, and the open wound that was grazed, that's a bullet graze, it's not a tear gas canister. The tear gas is designed in a manner that it doesn't cause injury to you. A rubber bullet is designed that it doesn't, the tear gas canister explodes to release the gas without causing injury. But the injury is to your, let's not go to the science. You saw the wound. So the statement by the police is what is called cover-up. They are committing a second crime to cover up what their officers did in the field, where they discharged live ammunition, they discharged tear gas canisters on innocent, peaceful crowd. That has nothing to do with public order or public control. You discharge any ammunition if the crowd is rowdy, if the crowd is violent, but this is a peaceful crowd being led by peaceful leaders. The action by the police was extremely heavy. It is for this reason that Honorable Brian Mundubile has called for investigations. It is for this reason that the police are already justifying that it's a tear gas canister, because they know the act they did yesterday was dastard.
Have state institutions then,
live ammunition.
Have state institutions then, like police, then failed to protect human life? These are incidents that have happened now. They happened even during your time. And you are here now, Ambassador, telling us that things will happen differently? Should a Zambian believe what you're telling us this evening?
No, the Zambians don't have to believe me. The Zambians can believe the current reports. So the reports from the United Nations Human Rights Council has tabulated. The reports from the United States State Department, the country reports from 2023, 2024, 2025, have all tabulated the extensive human rights that have been committed by this government, the killings that have occurred, and they are tabulated in these international reports. The recent reports by the Human Rights Watch International, the one that was the latest report also catalogs just the killings that have occurred under the police, the restrictions that have occurred, the political violence that have occurred in our country. Do not believe the narrative of Emmanuel Mwamba or Hakainde Hichilema. Go to independent players and independent auditors of our political scheme and look at the dastard reports. That removes the propaganda. What I'm saying, or what President Hakainde Hichilema
let's run through issues quickly. Ambassador,
yeah.
I'd like us to run through quite many issues quickly, but before that, let's pick Stephen Musole. Just under 30 seconds, Stephen. Give us your thoughts and your question, your contribution.
Yes, sir.
Stephen Musole, go ahead with your contribution.
Good evening, thank you. How are you?
Very well. Please, you've got 30 seconds to just quickly run through to your question contribution.
Thank you very much. You know, me, I'm very much disappointed with the so-called leaders. I don't think so, and I don't see any reason for Mr. Emmanuel Mwamba to start justifications over the incidents. Number one, Cheswa, you have read it correctly. The leader, Mr. Brian Mundubile, he said something else at the brief, that everything has been clarified. There is no one who has shot the bullet there. But now, look what the leaders, sometimes the way they justify things and bring lies where things are not even supposed to be. To make the matters worse, the timetable, you have asked me a very good question. The timetable was supposed them to go and attend the rally at the Heroes Stadium. But why were they in Kalingalinga and Mutendere? Because the schedules are there. The ECZ, they've already brought the schedules there. So please, don't justify the wrong is wrong, and we experience a lot of wrong things in the PF. Thank you so much. That's my humble contribution.
Thanks a lot. Ambassador, perhaps you respond to that quickly, but then also, I just want to move your attention, because earlier today you also posted this allegation that the state has hired assassins to target opposition leaders. Are these, Ambassador, extremely serious allegations that could heighten political tension and public fear, even just in the public?
Yeah, so I commented about Makebi Zulu on the platform. You saw when Brian Mundubile arrived at the rally in Chilanga in the night, he was wearing a bulletproof vest. And today, you saw Makebi Zulu remove the bulletproof vest and said, I would rather die than allow a Zambia where our country has become so unsafe for political competitors that you face death. So I stated that there are numerous reports that we have gathered that there are secret undertakings.
Ambassador, these are serious allegations. Do you have evidence? Do you have concrete evidence?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
For assuming that...
Yes. Cheswa, these are serious matters. You would not allow your leader...
Because, Ambassador, these allegations could potentially raise a lot of fear that they are assassins, hired assassins.
You know what I expect you? What I expect you is to express alarm that there are some people in the state planning to take away the lives of political competitors. What should alarm you? That the state has become so lawless.
Are you able to provide this evidence to the public to see, Ambassador?
Yes, we are. And as you have seen, that's what I'm telling you.
When will you provide this evidence?
You saw the other day Brian Mundubile wearing a bulletproof vest. You think that he would rather just wear a bulletproof vest? Today you saw at the rally, Makebi Zulu remove the bulletproof vest.
Yeah, but I mean, Ambassador, that can be a political stunt anyone can do. And what the public would love to understand is if Ambassador Mwamba is indeed telling us the truth. Where is the evidence
let me give you my example.
Hired assassins.
Just let me give you my example. Just let me give you my example.
Go ahead,
The threats against my life were so intense. My family was threatened. I was threatened. I received an envelope with a bullet in it. I was told I'll be jailed, although I've committed no offense. I'm in exile speaking from the United States, not because I would like to be away from my country. I was a presidential candidate.
Did you show the public that bullet, Ambassador? Did you show the public that bullet?
I am not paranoid. I am not speaking
Did you show the public that bullet that was given to you? Did you show the public that bullet, that envelope?
No,
and
I didn't
bullet?
need to. My life was in danger. I didn't need to. I needed to secure my life first.
And I'm asking because, Ambassador, you do post quite many things. You do post quite many things I can point out evidence on social media about some of the things that you've been able to gather. You are yourself a very trained journalist, aside being Ambassador. So you know how to post and how to gather evidence and protect your sources. So
this is what I'm telling the country. Just a minute.
Yeah.
This is what I'm telling the country. That there are threats against our leading presidential candidate in Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. I'm telling you that there are threats. That's why you saw Brian Mundubile don a bulletproof vest on that day when he appeared in Chilanga. That's why you saw Makebi Zulu was wearing a bulletproof vest. What you and our country should demand is that the president has a duty to protect. He swore by the Constitution. He has a duty to deliver free and fair elections, devoid of threats, devoid of violence. He has to ensure that institutions work in the manner they were created by our Constitution. We are a democratic state. That is a duty, single duty, that the president has to deliver a free and fair elections. The threats, the violence, the threats of lives on presidential candidates, totally unnecessary. The harassment of our candidates should not be allowed.
Ambassador, I ask all of this because the Permanent Secretary and the Minister of Information, in fact, government, is warning people that are using, social media, and not once, many times you yourself has been warned for trying to incite the country using inflammatory words and so on.
That. I should be excluded. I speak to credible institutions like yourself. I just spoke to BBC the other day. I spoke to the New York Times. I hold high credibility. You would not have called me if you doubted my credibility. BBC
As we
would not have
conclude
called
today's
me. The
discussion,
Global Witness
remember that
reporter
every
that's
major
been
story
released
has
in
different
London today
perspectives,
has
and
me quoted
understanding those
extensively.
perspectives
They
helps
know
us
that
become
what I
better
state
informed
is
citizens.
verified.
The purpose of this
Credible
channel is not
institutions
only
would
to
not
report or
take
comment
my
on
word
events,
if I was not
but
credible.
always to
You
educate
would not
and
have
encourage
invited me to your
respectful
program.
discussions and
Millennium,
promote
Prime TV,
critical thinking based on
and
public
others that have been
available
inviting me
information.
to the
Whether you agree
programs,
or disagree
even
with
in my
today's topic, we
circumstances
encourage you to
where I'm
express your
exiled
views
and I'm
respectively
away.
in the
They know
comment
that I
sections.
speak with
Health
credibility.
debate
I'm
is
a
part of
leader in my
democracy,
country.
provided
I
it
belong.
remains respectful
I'm
and
an official
constructive. If you learned
spokesperson
something new
to
today,
one
please
of
support
our
the
alliance
channel by
partners,
liking this video,
and
subscribe,
when
and
I
turn on
speak, I speak
notifications.
officially.
You can also
Let
explore
us go
our
back to the
playlists featuring Zambian
fundamental issue.
documentaries,
Our
Parliament
country
highlights,
should not
trending
degenerate
stories,
where we
educational
fear for our
content,
lives.
and more. Thank you.